Hi, and welcome to step 4 of your senior first aid badge. So, step 4 is recognizing the signs of drug overdose and alcohol poisoning. Kind of a big topic, I know, and it can be kind of a scary one to talk about. But the thing is, people consume drugs and alcohol in this world, so it's important to have all the information so that we can make safe and responsible choices. So, let's start with some basics. Drug overdose. Drug overdose is when you consume too much of a drug and it causes your body to actually start shutting down. The thing is, drug overdose can happen from anything from Tylenol, a medicine you take for your headache, to illegal substances. And the thing is, while some people do intentionally take drugs, they don't often intentionally try to overdose. The issue is that most people don't know how much of a drug is going to cause them to overdose, because drugs are dependent on everything from your history, so your tolerance level, how used to the drug your body is, your genetics, your height, your weight. All of these factors can affect how much of a drug is going to have an impact on you, and it's different for every person. The same really goes for alcohol poisoning. You might have heard someone say, oh, it takes me this many drinks to be drunk. But the thing is, that's different for everyone, and the level past drunk is alcohol poisoning. And alcohol poisoning is when the level of alcohol in your blood is too high. And again, your body starts shutting down in response. And the amount of alcohol it takes is different for every single person because it's dependent on your genetics, your weight, your height, and again, your tolerance level. All the same things that we talked about with drug overdose. So it's important to be aware that it's different for everyone, and there's not one standard rule for drug overdose or alcohol poisoning. The thing that is standard between the two is some signs and symptoms you can look out for if you are concerned that someone might have consumed too much alcohol or consumed drugs. One is vomiting. That's a really big sign that your body has taken in too much. An altered mental status, so maybe the person is confused, they're not remembering conversations that you had, they're just kind of dazing out. That's a big sign of overdose and poisoning as well. Same thing for being dizzy, their gait is off. If someone loses consciousness, that's a really big indicator that something is not right. The best thing that you can do if you are concerned about drug overdose and alcohol poisoning, call 911 and stay with the person. There's not much you can do other than those things. If you're staying with the person, you can be there in case they start throwing up, and you can help position them so that the vomit is leaving their body and not blocking their airway. And if you're there, you can call 911 and you can let first responders know what drug was consumed, if you do know, and what alcohol and how much, if you do know. Good thing is that in California, we have something called the Good Samaritan Law. So if you are concerned about somebody's medical well-being because of drugs or alcohol, if you call 911 to get medical help, you and this other person will not be in legal trouble. It is important to know that the police will most likely contact your family and let them know, but you're not going to go to jail because we want to make sure that we can get this person help. And if you're scared to call 911 because you're afraid that your friend or you might get in trouble, your friend's not going to get the help that they need. And so, again, we just want to make sure that everyone is taken care of and that we're making safe and responsible choices. So we're going to learn a little more about some of the impacts of drugs and alcohol and kind of how it plays in the role of first aid and first responders. So I've linked a few websites for you and your troop to explore. One is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Another is Students Against Destructive Decisions. Both of these websites are nonprofit organizations that do a lot of advocacy work about the effects of drunk driving or driving while under the influence of drugs, and really raise money and awareness to have laws in place to help protect people and to help educate students like yourselves about making responsible decisions. And then there's also a video linked called Every 15 Minutes. Now, Every 15 Minutes is a really cool organization that goes to high schools across the country and actually reenacts drunk driving accidents. So when you watch the video, there is a fake accident, there is fake death, there is fake blood. This all occurs within about the first minute, and then it shows kind of what happens at the hospital, what can happen in a legal setting, so going to court and going to jail. The video is 15 minutes long, and the idea is that every 15 minutes, somebody is actually dying from drunk driving. So it's a really huge issue in our country. And these are 3 organizations that are doing a lot to help raise awareness. So go ahead and explore those websites with your troop and then talk to each other. How do you feel about some of this information? Was there anything that surprised you? What can you do if you're in a situation where you're concerned about someone's well-being in regards to drugs and alcohol? So talk to your group, learn some new information, and I will see you back here for step 5.